When water is privatized in Los Angeles in 2028, riots break out on the city's streets. Professional thieves, Sherman and Lev decide to rob a bank with accomplices Buke and P22 while taking advantage of the confusion because the employees don't have access to the vaults. Sherman, however, gets a thought. In view of the uproars, all rich individuals are sending their representatives to stow away their assets, so the kin choose to loot the clients, all things considered. Lev even takes an especially delightful pen from a man's pocket, who cautions him taking such an item is a dreadful thought. In any case, Lev doesn't tune in. They explode a wall to get away from through a rear entryway. Be that as it may, the police track down them and open fire on them. P22 bites the dust, and Buke and Lev get injured. Be that as it may, Lev specifically is basically harmed, and he didn't kick the bucket also simply because Sherman took the majority of the slugs for him with his tactical armor. To get them out of this wreck, he calls in Artemis, a mysterious medical clinic that Maine treats hoodlums and is controlled by the nurse, a clinical master that hasn't left the lodging in more than 20 years as a result of her agoraphobia. Subsequent to let Sherman know there are free spaces for themselves and gazing at an image of her dead child, the nurse plays some music on her earphones and will deal with preparing those rooms. There are 2 additional hoodlums remaining at the inn right now, the 2 of them utilizing the codenames Nurse has allotted them. There is Nice, a worldwide professional killer. Furthermore, Acapulco, an offensive arms seller. The inn is furnished with the most recent medical care innovation. Also, the nurse could actually follow every visitor's area with her tablet. There is likewise an exceptionally severe set of decides that incorporate things like not killing different visitors, not taking pictures or recordings, no weapons permitted, and enrollment waiting to be paid ahead of time. The attendant switches off the music when the new visitors show up, yet she keeps them behind an entryway until they have passed every one of the principals. Buke hesitantly leaves his weapon, yet when the time has come to filter the chip on their wrists that demonstrates they are individuals, just the siblings finish the assessment. Buke's scar is phony. Being denied admittance irritates him and he hops on Sherman to go after him. So the attendant ends up with no other decision, be that as it may, to call for Everest, her own aide and security, who easily snatches Buke and makes it lights out time for him with an infusion prior to removing him from the lodging. In the wake of giving the kin the codenames of Waikiki and Honolulu, Nurse takes them to a room so she can fire fixing them up. Sherman takes the extravagant pen from Lev before attendant begins working on him with the assistance of a robot arm. And when the power unexpectedly goes out due to revolt control, she doesn't stress. The structure has its own generator, which brings power back when she is finished referencing it. Presently she can utilize the 3D printer to make another liver for Lev. In the interim, Everest drops Buke under a span prior to accepting a call from the nurse, requesting that he keep an eye on the generator when he returns. Buke exploits his interruption to bounce on him from behind and attempt to choke out him. However, Everest effectively shakes him off and undermines him with chasing him down, assuming he at any point fills anybody in about the lodging prior to leaving. Nurse keeps an eye on Nice's and Acapulco's wounds, and after she is no more, Nice calls her client to request more cash for this occupation since she needed to shoot herself to get nearer to her objective, and the client concurs. Back in the room, medical caretaker lets Sherman know that 3D printed organs are poisonous and Lev's condition is shocking. He is just living thanks to life support, and to move him, they would need to make it lights out time for him with similar opiates they use for child elephants. Later, checking Sherman's arm and hearing him gripe about Lev having lied about stopping wrongdoing, she leaves the room and accepts a call from an obscure individual, just to immediately hang up when the man is amazingly impolite to her, which is additionally contrary to the principles. The baffling guest attempts once more with the same outcomes, and it isn't until the 3rd time that the medical attendant at last acknowledges to converse with him at the point when she hears his name. He is Crosby Franklin, child of renowned wrongdoing ruler and proprietor of the lodging, Orion the Wolf King Franklin, who has been harmed and needs somebody to consider him to be as soon as could be expected. It is contrary to the standards for nurse to depart and see patients at different areas, so Crosby hesitantly acknowledges to bring him over to the lodging. The uproars outside are deteriorating continuously, and presently there are even robots and rockets going off. Everest figures they ought to empty, yet attendant deviates. It is sufficiently protected to guarantee the structure. Meanwhile, Nice goes to the rec room and will meet Acapulco, who quickly hits on her and gets irritated when she could do without it and deals with him like the unpalatable bonehead he is. Their contention is unexpectedly hindered by Sherman, who has stopped by for some espresso. He and Nice express greetings to one another. Noteworthy, they met previously and are cordial associates, which makes Acapulco think they are together and Sherman is attempting to safeguard his sweetheart. This makes the 2 of them giggle, and keeping in mind that Sherman makes sense of that as really the most risky individual in the structure, he energetically taps Acapulco on the chest and takes his wallet prior to leaving the room. Pleasant follows him subsequent to breaking a mug and tossing a piece at Acapulco as an advance notice, calling him fortunate for having the standards to safeguard him from her killing him. After she is no more, Acapulco concludes he has had enough and calls a helicopter to come to get him. Nurse makes Everest approach her space to show him what the surveillance cameras are picking up outside. Since she wouldn't go to the Wolf King's area, Crosby is currently fixing up some of the ways to be certain no other person can get in after he acquires his dad. At the point when the alert out of nowhere begins ringing, they find something different on the screen. Morgan Daniels, a cop. She is gazing straight toward the camera and calling medical caretaker by her genuine name, Jean Thomas, which not even Everest knows. Nurse confesses to knowing her and needs to acquire her. However, Everest denies, saying helping a cop would conflict with the standards and influence them to lose the once more trust of their clients. At that point, the power goes out. Everest passes on to investigate at the generator, so Nurse beverages a few whiskey and gets her clinical sack and her child's image previously taking off, escaping the structure by utilizing a mysterious section obscure to her. Sherman sees her leave. In light of her agoraphobia, going outside is unquestionably hard for her, so she puts on her earphones and pays attention to some treatment accounts Everest gifted her. At the point when she arrives at Morgan, she shows her the image of her child, ensuring she is the young lady she used to know when she perceives the kid. Two youngsters show to them, and the police that were pursuing them track down Nurse next to Morgan's body on the floor. They don't accept her when she says she lives here. However, before they can cross-examine her further, Everest appears and rapidly takes every one of the officials out prior to picking up Morgan and take her inside with Nurse, while Crosby's men track down those officials and kill them. Sherman goes through Acapulco's wallet and finds a poker card concealing a CPU under its cardboard. Nice shows up then, at that point, bringing Nurse's bourbon so they can have a beverage together. Sherman sees a portion of the progression she has gone through seen the last time they saw one another, like all the enrollment scars on her wrist and the embed in her eye, which she has gotten so her clients can perceive how she kills her objectives, who are consistently notable individuals. Consequently, Sherman shows her the pen Lev took, which alarms Nice seriously. She opens the covered-up compartment inside the pen, uncovering 6 exceptional precious stones that are worth $18 million each. The pen has a place with the Wolf King, who is known for killing anybody that takes from him. So Nice believes Sherman should leave at the earliest opportunity. Sherman will stay put until his sibling can walk, and after they squabble over this choice, Nice kisses him furthermore, lets him be, not endorsing the manner in which he generally allows his sibling to put shackles on his life. While taking Morgan inside, Everest keeps on chastening Nurse for gambling with everything over a cop, so Nurse reminds him she previously disrupted the guidelines once when she tracked down him as a youngster and took him in. In the wake of ensuring Acapulco is gone from the lobby, they take Morgan to Nurse's room and she continues to work on her while attempting to overlook the steady flashbacks of her child that attack her brain. At the point when they wake her up after the activity is finished, Morgan asks Nurse for what reason she has acknowledged to help her, and Nurse says she did it since they are family, not on the grounds that she is a cop. Morgan additionally raises the subject of her child, making the flashbacks irritate her once more, so Nurse out of nowhere leaves with the reason she really wants to set up another room. She does as such while tuning into music, yet this time, after she is finished, she stays there and cries as she recalls the day she found her child's body after he kicked the bucket from Odd. In the wake of calling a vehicle to come and get him, Sherman keeps an eye on Lev, who is currently awakening. He shows him the Wolf King's logo on the pen and lets him know that while today he is helping him out, this will be the last time they will cooperate. Lev acknowledges this, however he is continually occupied by the opiate infusion Nurse overlooked. In the meantime, Sherman researches the mysterious entry, and Nice is on the rooftop, utilizing an exceptional gadget to keep an eye on Crosby's discussion with his men. Acapulco shows up then to hang tight for his helicopter and attempts to select her, however her response is to take him out when he understands her the objective is the Wolf King, who is currently showing up at the lodging. Nurse goes to the door to get him. In any case, she hasn't opened it yet in light of the fact that there are such a large number of individuals and the majority of them are equipped. Crosby attempts to dissent, however the Wolf King advises him to comply with the guidelines, so he is the one in particular that crosses the entryway. Prior to leaving with Nurse, he gives his child his ring in the event that he doesn't make it. Presently all the Wolf King's men are locked behind the doors. Everest utilizes the opportunity to remove Morgan from the structure after she swears she won't inform anybody concerning the inn. They run over Sherman in the lobby, who quickly acknowledges Morgan as a cop, thanks to her boots. However he just offers a snide remark about it and allows them to leave without raising a caution. While Pleasant puts a bomb she had concealed in her phony cigarette pack on the generator, Nurse takes care of the Wolf King's injuries, which were caused, as per him, by a delightful young lady. Being under the impact of the medication makes the Wolf Lord slip and notice some untruth he told Nurse and her child's name, which he shouldn't know since she never referenced it to him. She calls Everest through the walkie-talkie and converses with Morgan, who attempts to console her that her child's passing was not her issue. Subsequent to thinking back about the past times, she hangs up and goes to converse with the Wolf King, who is awakening under the impact of the additional medications she has infused him with. Presently his tongue is free, The Wolf Lord at last admits Nurse's child did no dead. Being tossed in the ocean was the discipline for taking the Wolf King's vehicle. The police report had been faked by the police after he paid them to do as such. This episode permitted him to find Nurse and give her a new position after she had lost her will to live, as Los Angeles is put under time limit and lockdown. Sherman goes to keep an eye on his sibling just to find he has infused himself with the nurse's opiates. Affirming he is as yet a fiend, Sherman lets him know they need to leave while putting the chip he took from Acapulco in the 3D printer to make a weapon. Nonetheless, Lev doesn't need to leave since he is certain he won't make it. However, he figures Sherman ought to save himself. Morgan figures out how to leave the structure securely as Nurse raises a surgical blade fully intent on killing the Wolf King, and Acapulco awakens to accept his helicopter. Yet they are both hindered by the bomb at last went off and cut all power. The helicopter leaves without getting Acapulco, who is presently enraged and needs to kill Nice for setting up the bomb by utilizing a 3D printed firearm he had concealed in his sack. In the meantime, Nurse overlooks her vengeance to go beware of Lev, who has lost his life support. Nice makes a move to go into the Wolf King's room and, subsequent to turning down his proposal of more cash, kills him while recording everything with her exceptional eye. Nurse attempts to resuscitate Lev without any result. At the point when her tablet cautions her of the King's passing and the tracker shows Nice is there with him, Sherman acknowledges she was the one that set up the bomb in this way, faulting her for his sibling's demise. He gets his firearm and pursues her. He thinks that she is in her room and calls her out for her activities. However, Nice swears she didn't realize Lev was in life support and there are greater justifications for why Sherman has lost him. Thinking she is correct, Sherman starts to bring down his weapon, just to out of nowhere be shocked by Acapulco, who shoots them both prior to beginning a tirade about his prevalence. Exploiting how occupied he is, Sherman handles him and pushes him forward until his head is on the plate of the 3D printer, which he actuates to kill him. Crosby figures out the ring his dad left him as a bomb and uses it to puncture the wall so his men can escape while Nurse tracks down Sherman and Nice and guides them to the mysterious entry after Nice snatches a lot of surgical blades to take with her. On out, they run over Everest, who chooses to remain behind to fight off the Wolf King's men. Nurse provides him with a bunch of keys prior to embracing him. Then she races into the lift with Sherman just to see Nice is going to remain behind to battle too as a method for saying sorry for Lev. Everest battles the men at the door utilizing a crisis hatchet he takes from the wall while Nice purposes the surgical blades she took to fare thee well of the men that are presently slipping into the mysterious section through the opening brought about by the bomb. The two of them excel from the start, battling effortlessly, yet soon how much hooligans overwhelms them. Notwithstanding, they purchase sufficient time for attendant to deal with Sherman's injuries on their lift ride and securely arrive at the front entryway, which hasn't been utilized in years. Unfortunately, Crosby is there pausing for their purposes, wishing vengeance for his dead dad. Sherman attempts to hammer out an agreement by showing him he has the jewels and letting him know he could involve them as evidence of ability to turn into the new Wolf King. Crosby acknowledges, however, just in return for letting Sherman go. No, Nurse. Sherman professes to acknowledge as well, and when he draws nearer to give him the pen, he goes after Crosby and starts a fistfight. Since Sherman is harmed, Crosby rapidly gains the advantage and handles him to the floor, so Nice adopts the opportunity to strategy him from behind and infuse the opiates made for elephants, really killing him. In the wake of getting the pen once more, Sherman guides Nice through her tension to help her arrive at the outside, where the mobs are as yet going at full power. Together they find the vehicle Sherman had called for before. However, she turns down his proposal to go with him since she needs to remain here and help these individuals since that is all she knows how to do. Sherman has no designs without precedent for his life, so he simply drives off after Nurse tells him about an inn in Las Vegas that could end up being useful to him. She returns to the lodging road and sees the sign illuminating, inferring somebody turned on the generator once more. Nurse puts on her earphones also, plays some music as she strolls towards the uproars, prepared to be of help. Inside the lodging, as the lights enlighten the passages once more, the shadow of a young lady should be visible cruising by. The end. If you like this story, please subscribe to the channel and like it to motivate me to bring you more stories like this.